Hello everyone, this is Michael with a general reading for Cancer Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus for the month of September 2020. I was getting a really big pull to do your reading next, so I'm very curious to see what comes through. I actually think I'm just going to skip straight ahead to the cards and start shuffling, but I do have the astrology blog linked down below for those of you who would like a comprehensive view at what is going on in the stars for the month of September. I also have all of my links for personal readings, Reiki sessions, and donations for those of you who feel so called. As always, I want to thank those of you who support this channel with your likes, shares, comments, and subscribes. I really do appreciate it, and it does help this channel grow and allows me to continue sharing these messages with all of you. And the month of September is honestly kind of an intense one. Really, the whole year has been pretty intense, right? But we have Mars going retrograde, we have Jupiter and Saturn going direct in your opposite sign, which I think is affecting you pretty strongly, and that's why your energy is so loud to me right now. We do also have, just a lot of things I feel like coming back to the surface. Things that may have died down, both collectively and personally, we could be seeing them starting to reemerge, or this tension starting to surface, especially in the next couple of months when Mars is retrograde until November 13th. There's going to really be a lot of agitation and tension, and it's going to be really easy for people to engage in power struggles, for people to kind of snap, and to just be really mindful that this is going to be sort of I'm just going to be real. The collective is going to be pretty intense. And that doesn't have to be the end of the world. That doesn't have to be a bad thing. But just be aware and take care of yourself, kind of keeping this in mind. It's like a weather forecast. It might rain. You may want an umbrella. You may want a raincoat. You kind of want to be prepared and maybe adjust your plans accordingly. That's all I'm using astrology for. I'm not here to be doom and gloom with this. But I think it's important to just kind of be prepared and to kind of have a sense of things. And I think a lot of people already feel the energy this month. We had a full moon in Pisces, which is really illuminating a lot of things that have been kept in the shadow or kind of drifted into the unconscious. It's all coming back up and coming to light this month. And there's a lot of karmic themes that are going to be playing out and resuming this month with Jupiter and Saturn both going direct in Capricorn. So let's see what we have for you for the cards. We have the Nine of Wands with the Queen of Cups in the reverse. I'm sorry, the Ten of Wands and the Queen of Cups both in the reverse. We do have the Star, but we also have the Nine of Cups in reverse. Interesting. And this is really interesting, Cancer, because I was kind of saying, like, just because all of these things are happening externally around you, I feel like spiritually you have a strong compass, or you have a guiding light that is available to you with the Star showing up at the center of your reading for the first half of September. And this is a time for you to heal. This is a time for you to take things slow. And a lot of people, because of the panic this year, because of the fear, and now, this kind of wave of agitation, there is this push in the psyche to want to have things done, and to want things to be happening now, and to want want changes to happen immediately. And with this Mars energy, it's like the more we resist it, it's like a Chinese finger trap. The more we resist it, the more stuck we get. We kind of have to go back into the center. We almost have to lean into our discomfort and be present with that, provide love and healing to that. And what that looks like is just unconditional love and presence with ourselves. And our ability to do that with ourselves is also going to reflect our ability to do that with other people. Because a lot of the time, conflict doesn't happen because of what someone said or did. It has to do with how that made us feel and reacting to our own feelings of what someone said or did. And this whole year is really going to be powerful in that way, where a lot of spiritual people who have been kind of avoiding conflict and trying to stay out of the light of things, it's very important for us to hold space, to be light workers in those dark places. And that's what I see with the star. The star literally represents finding the light in darkness and finding healing, finding peace, finding calm, finding tranquility. With the Ten of Wands and the Queen of Cups in reverse, you are feeling so exhausted. And there may be things that are also falling away. You are carrying a lot of burden and a lot energetically. And maybe you do need to spend some time healing yourself, getting back to center. And something that you want to have happen isn't necessarily happening in the first half of September. And you could feel really defeated by this. But it's like the more you're trying to push and make things happen, to get things to go your way or manifest and not sit in the present moment, it's that finger trap again. And it's almost like you need to just find your center in this discomfort. And I feel like some of you really can do this. I really do feel this and believe this very strongly for you. Cancer, you are a container. And kind of knowing your sign, I'm not making fun of you, I'm not trying to tease you or anything, but the shadow of Cancer being the nurturer is that when they're overwhelmed, they just focus on nurturing themselves. And when we get into that sort of coddling energy with ourselves or other people, we can actually take away from growth or healing. And I'm a Cancer midheaven. I do this. I understand. I get it. We just want people to feel comfortable and to feel at home and at ease. And it's so challenging for us when that's not possible, that we may just turn off. And I really do believe the challenge for you this month, even though you feel exhausted, even though you feel drained, is to just be present for all of it. And you have the owl coming up as your animal spirit for the first half of September. And owl is all about intuition, seeing the light in darkness. Again, this is so huge for you. And owl is a great totem to call on if you're having a hard time emotionally with whatever it is that's going on. You might feel like someone has just dumped on you energetically. And a lot of people are just putting their weight on you, and you're feeling stretched out like taffy. And you need to take care of your own emotions as well, because a lot of the time we think we're picking up on other people's feelings, and we are, but we're also feeling our own emotional response to their feelings as well. And owl can really help us discern the difference. And find healing. Find the blessing that is coming. There is a blessing that is on the way for you, Cancer. I know that sounds crazy. And you might even feel it. It's like things are so crazy right now, but I feel this thing coming. I feel this blessing coming. I feel this starlight shining upon me. Even if it doesn't make sense, you're not crazy to feel this. It's a very mixed energy, very, very complex. So let's take a look at the second half of September now. What are the messages for my Cancer folks for the second half of September? Show us clearly and beyond. Where is all of this going? Where is all of this going? Okay, a Ten of Swords came out. There is an ending that is coming. And I know that might scare some people, but it's like you've just been carrying so much burden. It's almost not a surprise to have certain things be falling away. You could be ending things with another water sign. So another Cancer, Scorpio, or Pisces. Could also be an Aquarius individual. This King of Swords was trying to come out too, came out in reverse. And again, you know, even if there's a major setback for you this month, or however this looks, the Ten of Swords often represents worst case scenario thinking. And it's like a lot of the time when we are in this scenario of conflict or tension, everything is just so much more visceral and scary and alive, and our minds go to worst case scenario, and we don't even realize that we're not responding to the present moment, we're responding to what we think that means. And there's kind of this mind game that you're playing with yourself this month, Cancer, where you're really keeping your emotions in check, really, you know, understanding and seeing what is an assumption on your part. Your intuition is strong, but intuition shouldn't just feel like a mental high. You'll kind of feel it in your full body. And to me, it actually feels like kind of a calm feeling, even in times of chaos, even in times of stress. Sometimes I do get like a wave of intensity, but it's not something that lasts. I feel like I'm almost in this bubble. I'm being cushioned somehow. And if you have this sort of like fast-moving mental feeling, that's more likely than not your ego or your fears coming into play. And that's just kind of a way to understand how you're feeling, because you do need to separate those intense reactions to your thoughts with this King of Swords in reverse. You could be cutting things off with an air sign. So again, we had that Aquarian energy, could also be Gemini or Libra. But what's interesting here is that you have the Two of Cups with the Two of Swords in the reverse. Someone is opening up. And it's almost like because you're so tense about it, it's like the way they open up scares you and makes you think it's like worst case scenario, this is over. That's not necessarily the case. It's just that people are opening up, things are being exposed. It was already there. And now it's just being aired out. And you don't need to make that mean this catastrophic feeling, which I was sort of picking up on before this reading. That's why I felt like I needed to read for you. There's just so much tension right now. It was quite palpable. So let's look at the other animal messages for you. Hawk. And this hawk is a messenger. And it is about seeing the future. It is about seeing what's coming. And again, even if you see what's coming accurately, even if you have this prophetic sense about what is unfolding, what you are making that mean is still often an assumption. And I'm going to speak for myself as an intuitive. 2020 scared the shit out of me. I'm not going to lie. And even when things started happening this year, at first it really freaked me out. And it was this feeling of dread. And the more I sat with it, the more I was present with it, the more I allowed this to be a birthing experience that's painful and has contractions and is trying to bring in something new, which isn't even a guarantee. If we're being honest, there's no guarantee in birth. But I saw it as part of a process. And in doing that, I felt a tremendous sense of peace. It was like being in the eye of the storm. And that's kind of what this hawk energy is. It's sort of this removed perspective, this higher perspective. Seeing things from a higher perspective is going to be very, very important for you, especially as things are kind of stalled or there's resistance. It really helps to have a larger sense of the bigger picture, which you do at the start of the month. You have this star, you have this sense of things. It wasn't wrong. You have this direction, this calling. And if this is in your personal relationship, it feels like something that might feel like an ending, actually isn't, to be completely honest with you. And this conflict or this thing that might feel like an end, it's actually bringing you closer together to somebody. And maybe it is this air sign, maybe it is this water sign, but in the moment it feels like an ending. And maybe it literally is, but from that it brings you closer together. Is there any more animal wisdom for Cancer? Show us clearly. Is there any more animal wisdom for Cancer? That's too many. Show me clearly, please. Tarantula. Interesting. So this is kind of this sense of danger. and feeling very hypersensitive, because tarantula is a surprisingly sensitive animal. It's covered with these fine hairs all over its body. It's very attuned to the energy around it. And it's not spider energy that's off in the corner waiting for something to come to it. Tarantula is an ambush predator. So it's kind of maneuvering in the shadow, maneuvering subtly and undetected. And there is a molting process that is happening here too, okay? I do feel like journaling is something that's very important for you. I know that this card kind of talks about that. And that could be a way to help you regulate your emotions or kind of see patterns in yourself and in your life in general. And there is a need to kind of move, even if you feel vulnerable, and to move through that. Because growing feels quite vulnerable with this molting process at times. And I think your job this month, Cancer, is to really feel that vulnerability and make it okay. Instead of trying to change it right away, or instead of trying to make yourself almost like medicate it. It's like understanding why you feel this way. And understanding why it has you have to feel this way. It's not like something went wrong. There's something in your emotional guidance system that's coming up for you, and you just need to become aware of it. And it's giving you a sense of direction in the long term. And there may be avenues that you're realizing aren't good for you, but you don't need to see that and panic, okay? You can still adjust your course here. There is a major change that you are going to be making. And it's going to be bringing the right people together for you. And those are really all the messages I am getting for you right now. This felt like a short, just needed to come out kind of reading. Be sure to hit like and subscribe. Let me know in the comments down below what your greatest fears are. Why are you reacting so strongly to these things, and what are you making that mean? And is that what's actually happening now, or is that just a fear? Maybe just talking about it and airing that out in the comments could be helpful down below. I do have all of my links for personal readings and Reiki sessions for those of you who feel like they need a little extra guidance or assistance in their own lives right now. And if you want to look at one of the other videos, you can check out the September playlist for this month and look at your moon, rising, or Venus signs. If you don't know what those are, there is a natal chart calculator just in the description box down below that should be able to help you out as well. And I will see you all in the next video. Take care, Cancer. Have a great month.